Well, from KZN, let's take you now to the Western Cape, where the swearing in of the new national executive of the Government of National Unity will take place in the city of Cape Town later this morning. Now, President Cyril Ramaphosa named the ministers of Government of National Unity on Sunday, following weeks of deadlock that delayed the formation of this historic coalition. But for more on what's to be expected, and we saw earlier, let's just check in once more with Abra Barbier, who's there, just to walk us through if anything has changed, and of course just once again taking stock of the readiness for this afternoon, or should I say later this morning's events. Abra?
Sakina, hi again. Yes, lots of members of Cyril Ramaphosa's team within the presidency, his admin team, his comms people, they all just arrived. Sita, I don't know if you can just swing the camera over there. They seem to be huddling. They just arrived. I think they're obviously talking about logistics and making sure that everything is going to run smoothly. They've been doing dry runs for the last little bit. But you can see Terence Seal of the presidency. Just checking to see. I suppose that's just last-minute checks to make sure that everything is fine, and then all the chairs are laid out. I was just thrown out of a seat which I think is going to go to one of the ministers, and I was told that the media needs to move to the other side. That's normally how things are done around here. But yes, everything seems to be working just fine. Sound checks. I've been told that ministers and deputy ministers are going to start arriving from 9:30. And then, of course, I'm going to try to grab as many of them as possible just to find out how they're feeling, what their plans are for their portfolio, if they plan to make any changes. I don't know if you've seen on Twitter, there's been lots of reaction to the various appointments. So, for example, lots of mixed reaction to Dr. Pieter Groenewald, who's now of the leader of the FF+, who's now the Minister of Correctional Service. So on the one hand, you have people saying if anybody is able to turn correctional services around, it is Dr. Pieter Groenewald, and that's because of his no-nonsense attitude. He, of course, was a member of the police portfolio in Parliament, always giving very valuable insight and input on that committee. Now crossing over to correctional services. The other side of the coin, people are asking why Groenewald, who was a member of the Conservative Party back in the day, how somebody like him can be part of President Cyril Ramaphosa's democratic executive. These are questions I will be putting to him later on when I speak to him, hopefully. Then, of course, lots of reaction to the DA Siviwe Kwagube as well. 34 years old, started out as a communications communications officer within the DA. In fact, I think she was the media person for former DA Chief Whip. Sorry, I completely forgot her name, but she's the former media person from within the DA. She is now a Minister of Basic Education. Yes, she's energetic, she's young, she's got lots of ideas, but people are concerned about her experience in education and what exactly her plans are. Of course, loads and loads of issues within basic education, not only for the learners who are the focus of that department, but also teachers. So we're going to be having those conversations with the various ministers as they come in. But Sakina, back to you.
Kwagube is who you were looking for, and it usually happens to all of us, in the moment. Yeah, and I'm hoping that you will also get to ask some of the newer ministers, especially the ones from the DA, whether they will be taking up the offer of the blue lights, seeing that they have been vehemently opposed to some of these perks that accrue to members of the executive over the years. So looking forward to those interviews, I must say. Abra Barbier there for us in Cape Town, and 11 o'clock is the time for that swearing in.